everybody. So as I promised last week, here's my first regular live. So I'm hoping to do some with other people as well, but let's see how this goes. So I have been going through my insights on my page, and apparently the most popular post recently was the one about tetanus vaccines. So just to give you a little bit more information on that. So tetanus is killed by oxygen, simple as. Nails that are rusty have rusted because of oxygen exposure. So unless that nail has just come freshly out of some horse dung or cow dung, it's highly unlikely to have tetanus on it. And yet everybody's like, oh no, I've cut myself with a rusty nail, I must go and get a tetanus jab. But it's become a bit too extreme as far as I'm concerned, because recently I've noticed people are getting cut with a knife in their kitchen that's probably straight out of the dishwasher, and you're getting, oh well, you know, you need a tetanus jab. No, you don't actually. And it's not just tetanus in that jab. They don't do a single tetanus. They used to, they don't do it anymore. So if you do get bitten by a dog, as Elaine Downs mentioned, if you get bitten by a dog, you tend to get a tetanus jab. If you get bitten by a dog that has fresh horse manure in its mouth, yes, there is a possibility of tetanus exposure. However, if you clean it off, you could use something like hydrogen peroxide. If you clean it off, expose it to oxygen, it is highly likely that the tetanus will be killed by oxygen exposure. If you bleed, there is oxygen in your blood. You should be killing it off with the oxygen exposure. So the problem does become that, yes, you know, people do die of tetanus. Unfortunately, the statistics are not given to you in full fact, because the statistics are that the people who die of tetanus either have circulation problems, major circulation problems, and it's a deep wound, and the blood isn't getting there, isn't, you know, the oxygenated blood isn't getting to the wound, or you have people who in third world countries who use dung or mud to close off the wound to prevent it from bleeding, and actually what they were cut with may not have had tetanus exposure, but there might be in what they're using as a plaster, so to speak. So it's as simple as that, really. It's very unlikely that you're going to get tetanus. However, if you think you have been exposed and you're worried about it, the vaccine will not help you. It will take weeks for immunity to build up from the vaccine, but if you've been exposed to tetanus, you'd be dead in a much shorter time than that. You actually need the antitoxin, which unfortunately many GPs do not carry. So please be aware that the tetanus jab is no use post exposure. If you've been exposed, if you haven't been able to kill it off with oxygen or cleaning it with hydrogen peroxide or anything else, it is not effective. It simply cannot be effective, and you need the antitoxin if you've been exposed, but the likelihood that you've been exposed is absolutely minimal. If you do have any questions, I'd love to see. I'd love to know what you want to know. Happy to talk about everything. As you can see, vaccines are a bit of a passion, as is nutrition, as is weight loss, as you've seen recently, my hair is growing 10 to the dozen, as is basically everything natural. My son has 74 MTHFR gene mutations, which means I have to do everything natural in order to protect him. So I'm learning, and I'm more than happy to share the information with you and make it easier for you. You don't have to look quite so far as I have. Okay, hopefully catch you some other time. Bye.